This is your favorite Murtad, Adam live once again. And today we have John Isaac with us and Eric Smith. Eric Smith has his own beautiful channel, Cross and the Crescent, and he's doing some marvelous job exposing the deception and spreading the truth. The rightly divided kuffar, if I'm not mistaken, that's his tagline. And I have John Isaac, and he's an Egyptian. So that's all I can say about him, nothing more, nothing less. And so today, Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everyone. John Isaac and
Happy
Smith
New
as well.
Year. Happy New Year for all one.
So, with the New Year wishes, the first topic of my New Year is discussing Islam. But every time I discuss Islam, people try to raise fingers at me and they start shouting, Kazab, Kazab, Kazab. Okay, liar, liar, liar. So today I have a different kind of a video. Today I'm going to expose what the Western scholars are saying versus what the Eastern scholars says. Hello, Salam, Aran, welcome. Happy New Year to you as well, sister. So today, instead of me showing the verses, the ahadiths, or anything, I'm going to let these scholars speak. And let's see what the Eastern scholar says versus what the Western scholar says about Islam. So the main topic is Islam is a religion of peace, and Islam is peace, and we are going to see what the Western scholars are saying versus what the Eastern scholar says. So here we go. And I will start from our Muslims' favorite scholar, Ahmed Deedat. So Ahmed Deedat, on one of his speech, talks about Islam as a religion of peace. Watch, listen, and then we'll have a little bit talk about him.
He also quoted a Quranic verse, like Rafiddin, which means there is no compulsion in religion. Compulsion is worthless. At the point of the gun or the knife, you force somebody to say, read the Shahada, the Kalima, the Creed of Islam, and the man is forced to read. What is it worth? Nothing. There is no compulsion in religion. But the insinuation is that the Muslims were doing compulsion. I said, look, my brother, Sharosh, you are a proof that the Muslims didn't use any compulsion for 1,400 years. For 1,400 years, you and your other Christians, whom you now say number 14 million, they lived in our midst. In Egypt, the Muslims have been the overlord of that country for 1,400 years. For a few years, the French came. For a few years, the British came. But overall, for 1,400 years, the Muslim has been ruling that land. And yet, today, you can boast there are 10 million Coptic Christians in Egypt. If there was compulsion of any kind, there would not have been a single Christian left in the country.
Awesome. All right. So he talks about there's no compulsion in religion. And if there was compulsion of religion, there would be not a single Christian left. And he specifically talked about Egypt. So my guys, John Isaac, you know Egypt more than any of us. And that's why I wanted you to be here.
Sure.
So brother, tell us, what is happening in Egypt?
I can tell some stories from history, from days of Amr ibn al-As. Amr ibn al-As was one of the companions of Muhammad, and he invaded Egypt at days of Khalifa Umar ibn al-Khattab. And from this point, we see, he said, Sheikh Deedat said that through the 1,400 years, there is no compulsion in religion. We'll see. First, when Amr ibn al-As entered Egypt, invaded Egypt, he destroyed a big library in Alexandria. It's called the Library of Alexandria, and he burned it in about 6 months. Take all books, 6 months continuous burning of the books. A lot of books of philosophy, Greek literature. Egypt was a big Christian country. A lot of books of different writers. Takes like 6 months to do that. And he put jizya over the people of Egypt. This jizya was too much. People paid. It was much more than days of the Roman invasion for Egyptian.
Let me,
Um,
John, let me interrupt you. For the
okay.
people who does not know jizya, they so jizya is a specific amount of compulsory money that the Muslims impose on Christians and Jews. This is jizya. They translate it as jizya so that they would be humiliated unwillingly or non-willingly while they are subdued or humiliated. This is Quran chapter number 9 verse number 29.
Yeah.
So they impose specific kind of taxation on non-Muslims. The amount is described by the imam or the amir of the amir means the king or whatever you may like to call him of the country who is now the ruler, and that is called jizya. Brother, please carry on.
Yes, and this jizya is not like as Muslims say it's like 2 dinar or small amount of money. No, it's a big amount. And these days the people was very poor and they couldn't pay. Many people convert to Islam because they either pay the jizya or to be killed or to join Islam. Then what is they can't pay? They converted to Islam. And even the Pope, the big boss of all Christians, all Coptic Christians in Egypt, was put in prison many times because he can't pay the jizya. He can't pay the jizya. He pays for himself and also for all Christian priests and all Christian monks in whole Egypt because they don't work. These people just doing they pray in the churches. They don't have money to pay the jizya, but they should pay. So the Pope doing this job, but he couldn't. He put in jail many times. This is not my words. It's written in many books like the history of Egypt for Alfred Butler, one of the important books of history. Also, you can find the same in for a writing of a witness for the invasion of Amr ibn al-As to Egypt, called his name is John or Yohanna in Arabic. John Nicosia. Nicosia is a city in just
Cyprus.
just
Cyprus. Kobros.
yeah, not Cyprus. It's in Egypt. It's called Nicosia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's almost the same name, but it's in Egypt, just like 100 kilometers from Cairo, the capital of Egypt. Anyway,
Oh.
these are two proofs about what happened from for the Egyptians at this time, and there is another proof in history books. One Muslim historian called Al-Maqrizi, he mentioned in his book that the Egyptian population at the invasion of Amr ibn al-As was 20 million people, 20 million Christians, and the population after 100 years becomes 3 million. Begins at 20 million at days of Amr ibn al-As, and the population of the whole Egyptians, not the Christians, whole Egyptians go down to 3 million from the killing, from a lot of jizya, people run out from Egypt, go here, go there. The Egyptian population goes from 20 to 3 only in 100 years. This continues through the whole Islamic.
So from 20 million to 3 million.
Yes, in 100 years.
In just 100 years.
Yes, it's not my words. It's Al-Maqrizi words. Maqrizi is a Muslim.
Yes. Yes, he has certain tafsir as well. Makrezi is a big guy.
Yeah,
And
he's a big guy, but he came after Amr ibn al-As by 100 years or 150 years. And he mentioned he has a big book from days of before Amr, maybe 100 years before Amr, before Islam, pre-Islamic era, till his time, about 200 years in his book of history.
oh my goodness, but like, who are the people who are laughing when Ahmed Deedat and smiling and saying
They
mashallah
don't
and
know. They don't know
subhanallah?
because
Like,
he mentioned like a false information that
yeah, so
Shrush or Anis Shrush, the guy from Lebanon, is still Christian, although 1,400 years of Islamic invasion for this region. We can say that because we know that, for example, in North America, there was invasion from England and France to the area of Canada and America, and they killed a lot of the old nation in this area. But we still have people from the old nation till now. They can't stop.
exactly.
Yeah, then it is normal. You can people, rich people in Egypt, pay the jizya and continue in their religion, which is Christianity. And through the history, if you go to read the history of the Egyptians or Coptic Egyptians, you see that the rich people were all not Muslims; they are all Christians. I can mention some names.
Let
One of
me
them, yeah,
let
go
me
ahead.
let me go to the latest part. Nowadays, even nowadays,
Mhm.
what is happening? If you try to call a few Christians in your home in Egypt and make a maybe every Wednesday prayer meeting in your home, what is going to happen to your home in Cairo?
We can't pray at home. It's not allowed. It's not law. But people inside their hearts, they hate churches. They hate Christians' prayers in churches, or Christians' prayers in houses. Then if someone Muslim moving in the street and he sees like 5, 10 people, Christians, praying together inside the house, he easily, without any problem, can bring like some gasoline or something and throw it inside the house and make fire to burn the house with the people inside the house, because it's not allowed. It's not allowed, not by the law. It's not allowed by the people themselves in Egypt. They hate Christianity. They hate Christians.
And
They
what would
hate
happen to that guy?
nothing. He's a hero. He is a
He's a
hero.
hero. So
Yeah,
by
he's a
law,
hero.
nothing can happen to him.
Yeah, and if some one of them, so Muslims, like for example, killed or something, or someone make like revenge from him or something and killed, you see his funeral, like many people come to say that he is shaheed and he will
Yeah,
go to
martyr,
heaven
of
because
course.
he burned most Christians in their houses. It is normal in Egypt. This is normal in Egypt. And this comes from where? Comes from Surah 9:29,
Which I
from
showed already.
back to Omar. Back to Omar doesn't allow any Christian to build the new churches. It's not allowed. It is not allowed to make renovation inside the church. Then if you pray inside your house, it means that you have like a plan to make your house a new church. That is not allowed due to Bact of Omar. Then this house should be burned. This is what's happening. And even if you'd like to make a renovation in the church, it's a big issue. Renovations in like in the bathroom or something, it's a big issue. You should go take permission from the city. City refuse. Go to the ministry of whatever of religious affairs. No, they refuse. Go to the prime minister. Refuse. You should go to the president of Egypt to take this permission. It may take 5 years to pick a permission of like fixing something, toilet or something inside in the church. 5 years.
5 years to fix a toilet in a church, and
Yeah, to
and
build a church, it's a very big issue. Maybe 10 years, maybe not. It's by luck.
and that's what and that's why it is called 99-1 rule. So when these Muslims are actually debating on the stage, everyone is smiling, laughing, and clapping,
They don't know anything.
99% of the people will not
They
verify
don't
anything.
know anything. They don't know anything. They never lived in Egypt. The best time for the Coptic Egyptians in Egypt when there was the British invasion. I don't like speaking in politics, but the British invasion to Egypt is like 100 years, 120 years ago. The Egyptians, Christians have the same rights like Muslims, and even you see the government, you have like let us say 70 Muslims, 30% Christians. Now we can see that. Now we can see only one minister for the whole government, like 20 person, just one Christian. This is what's happening now. Best
And
time for Egyptians, it was the British invasion 120 years ago.
that tells us everything. So Ahmed Deedat, let's see how many were laughing.
For 1,400 years, you and your other Christians, whom you now say number 14 million, they lived in our midst. In Egypt, the Muslims have been the overlord of that country for 1,400 years. For a few years, the French came. For a few years, the British came. But overall, for 1,400 years, the Muslim has been ruling that land. And yet, today, you can boast there are 10 million Coptic Christians in Egypt.
You see the laugh, you see the laughter, you see the laughter. This laughter, this smile, these claps, and they don't know jack about it. They don't know jack about it. What has been through the Christians of the Egypt. And this is the Western media portray. This is what the Western media say about it. So I'm gonna play. Thank you, John Isaac, for all your valuable input while you are actually in Egypt, New Egypt since birth. So I appreciate much that you came here and exposing this deception.
Can
So
I add a couple things to that, Adam, if you don't mind?
yes, sir. Please. Oh, please,
I'm
please,
sorry.
please.
I'm not myself these days. I'm pretty sick, so I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to add a couple things to this, to your live stream tonight, for as far as the what has happened to these Christian populations in Egypt. When we look at Egypt in 632 at the death of Muhammad, it was a Christian country. It was this was one of the most populous centers for Roman Catholicism. And within 100 years, that entire population, or the majority of that population, all through North Africa, all the way up into Spain, was turned from being Christian to Muslim by the point of the sword. This lie that Deedat is pushing here is contrary to what we historians would accept as what the narrative is. Spain was an Islamic country for 700 years. They were not converted to Islam through proselytization. They were converted to Islam through the point of the sword. And the only way that they were able to regain their Christian heritage, their Christian culture, was to force the Muslims out of the country by the point of the sword. Iraq used to be a Christian country. That was they were the Chaldean Christians. And as a matter of fact, if you look at this late, the Chaldean Christian population in Iraq has been decimated with the onset of ISIS. If you look at Turkey used to be a predominantly Christian country. And now it's 99.8% Muslim. This was not done through proselytization. This was done through forced conversions. If you look at the forced marriages that are going on in your own country today, if you look at the forced marriages that are going on in India today, forcing little girls to become Muslims, the idea
1,000 children, 1,000 children under 13, 1,000 children per year.
Yeah, I saw that
else.
article. I think that article came out today or yesterday. It's just.
Oh, no. I showed that 6 months ago in my live stream.
Oh, did you? Okay.
The
Okay.
CNN article.
Well, they're reposting that article. They're reposting that article. It came out today or yesterday, and that I saw that. And it's just to see this lie, and that's exactly what this is. This is nothing but a lie. Christians have been if you go to this journal right here, this is a journal that I subscribe to, Voice of the Martyrs. If you go to there, every single article in this month's magazine deals with Islamic persecution of Christians for being Christian. Not because of anything else. The fact that they are Christians, and where Christians have to hide their religion in Islamic or Muslim majority countries, where you have to hide your faith in Jesus Christ, your love for Jesus Christ, is unconscionable. If I was a Muslim, and I was practicing my faith in a Christian majority country, and I had to hide my faith as a Muslim, do you think that there would be an outcry, an international outcry out there? Of course there would be. Where is the outcry for these Christians that have to hide their Bibles? Where are this outcry of these Christians that can't, you just alluded to it earlier, that can't fix their toilets in their churches?
Exactly.
It's duplicity, and and the deception here. What do you call it? Takia? Do you call it lying? And that's exactly what it is. They're lying through their teeth.
Exactly. So now this is West. I'm going to show you an East now. So John Isaac told us about Egypt. I'm going to play an Egyptian video much later. But today, let me just play a Pakistani video. And most of you will not be able to understand it, so I'm going to translate it. But you need to see, this guy is a very, very known, renowned scholar of Pakistan. He died last month, and his funeral was held with hundreds of thousands. On the average, they say it was around 400,000 Muslimin who attended his funeral. His son is now running his ministry. Look what he's going to say, and then we will talk about him. It is Rizvi. This guy is Rizvi, Maulana Rizvi. He's Maulana, he's the Mufti. He's a big shot. Let's see what he's going to say. Watch, learn what they say in East versus what they say in West. So this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to play a Western scholar, and then I'm going to play an Eastern scholar.
40 साल मेरे आका मौला ने ऐलान नबूवत नहीं फरमाया.
For 40 years, my Aka, my Lord, and my Maula did not announced the prophethood.
उस वेले भी हुजूर अखलाक हुजूर दा खुलुक अजीम ते उस वेले भी सी. फिर 13 साल हुजूर ने तबलीग फरमाई.
Then for 13 years, Hazur, means the Nabi Muhammad, did the tabligh, the preaching in Makkah.
के विच 100 बंदा मुसलमान होया.
Only 100 people became Muslim. 13 years he preached Islam in Makkah. Only 100 people became Muslim.
जदों हुजूर तलवार चाहिए लोग कहते हैं इस्लाम अमन से फैला.
When he brought the sword, and people say that Islam spread by peace. This is what I'm translating. I'm not adding a single word. Come and sit with me and I will explain this. It's his words, not mine. Translating. In 13 years, only 100 people became Muslim. People occupied the houses of Sahaba, means the companion of Muhammad. Hazrat Bilal, the slave, he beat them. They beat Hazrat Bilal, who was the slave of Muhammad. Which zulm, which punishment, or I can't even translate zulm. Zulm is whatever, something like punishment. When Islam became powerful, and the power was the sword of Rasulullah, means the Muhammad. And at the time of Hajj al-Wida, means the last sermon, the last pilgrimage, 1 year before Muhammad, Sawa Lakh, 125,000 were Muslim. So when he had the sword, this is how Islam spread. That's what he's saying.
औरतां बच्चे बाकी सारे यमन के सारे मुसलमान थे नहीं सन आए हज करन हुजूर नाल
Do you think everyone came with Muhammad to do the pilgrimage? No, no, they did not came with Muhammad to do the pilgrimage.
वफूद ही आए सर इतने
Some people only came. Only some people came, not all of them.
मुसलमान हो चुके सन कितने 9 साल है एक साल था जिहाद होए
How many became Muslim in 9 years? 1 year jihad was not even there. So it's talking about the Medina time.
ही नहीं ना पहले साल जिहाद तो दूसरे साल तो शुरू है
Jihad started from the second year of Medina Hijrat.
तो फिर 9 साल इज़ा जा नसरुल्लाह वल फतह
And in 9 years, Iza Ja'a Nasrullahi fal Fathu, he is now reciting the verse of Quran. This is chapter number 110. And he's reciting that and he's saying, Iza Ja'a Nasrullahi wal Fathu, Wara'ita an-nasa yadkhuluna fi dinillahi afwaja. When the victory came because of the help of Allah, then people came to the religion fast. They came to the religion in groups. That's what he is saying. It's not me. I'm doing exact translation. Ask anyone if I'm doing the translation right.
वरायत अन्नास यदखुलून फी दीनिल्लाह
وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا. And the people came with joke, they came with groups and multitude. They came in multitude because of the sword of Muhammad.
ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸਲਾਮ ਦੀ ਪਾਵਰ ਹੀ ਖੋ ਛੱਡੀ
So now he's actually saying, you lost the power of Islam. You lost the power of Islam. That's what he's saying. He said, you lost the power of Islam.
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਠਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਸਲਾਮ ਅਮਨ का दर्स देता है
Okay, and now he's saying, whoever stands up, he says, Islam teaches about peace. Islam teaches about peace. Whoever stands up says Islam teaches about peace. You lost the power of Islam.
इस्लाम अमन से फैला
Islam spread with peace.
इस्लाम अखलाक से फैला
Islam spread because of the moralities.
तो मैं कहा 10 फिर 13 साल में कितने मुसलमान हुए?
Then I asked them, how many people became Muslim in 13 years? How many people? He is challenging all these scholars who says Islam spread by peace, and that's what he's saying. He's asking them. Then tell me how many people became Muslim in the first 13 years.
ये सब यहूद और नसारा के एजेंट थे जिन्होंने इस्लाम की पावर को खत्म कर दिया
And he is saying that these are the agent of Christians and Jews who destroyed the power of Islam by saying that Islam spreaded by peace. Guys, I'm not saying that. So these are your scholars who are saying that. Now, this is not a translation. This is me saying it. But anyway, let's move forward.
ऐसे ग्रोह पैदा किए गए ऐसे इस्लाम थोड़ा फैला 40 साल मेरे आका मौला
So, now he said, like, do you think this is how Islam spread by laughing? I'm just doing exact translation. Oh my goodness, this guy is awesome.
ने ऐलान नबूवत नहीं फरमाया उस वेले भी हुजूर अखलाक
So this is what we are taught in the East. This is what we are taught in the East. This is what the scholars say in the East. This is what they say in the East. And what do they say in the West? They say something else. They say something else. Hussein, would you like to share something before I show another video? Okay, seems like Hussein can't say it. So this is what you hear in the East. This is what you hear in the East. Check him out. Zakir Naik.
I would like to end my talk by replying to the allegation of the media that Islam was spread by the sword. And it's a common allegation laid down by the international media that Islam was spread by the sword. The reply to this allegation is given very well by a famous historian by the name of Dilesi O'Leary. He mentions,
Okay, look at the title of the book, Islam at Crossroad. I'm going to show you this book as well. So, Islam at Crossroad. Look what he is going to say, and we're going to work about that as well.
in the book Islam at the Crossroads, on page number 8, Dilesi O'Leary says, history makes it clear that the legend of fanatical Muslims sweeping across the world, forcing Islam at the point of the sword over conquered races, is the most fantastic, absurd myth that historians have ever repeated. I would like to repeat the statement of Dilesi O'Leary, the famous historian. History makes it clear that the legend of fanatical Muslims forcing Islam at the point of the sword over conquered races is the most absurd, fantastic myth that historians have ever repeated. When we read history, we come to know that we Muslims, the Arabs, they ruled the Arab lands
By the way, he is not an Arab. He's pointing it to himself.
for the past 1400 years. For a few years, the Britishers came. For a few years, the French
Whatever. I'm just sick of this guy. Anyhow, so he says that Islam did not spread by the sword, and he actually quoted this book. Let's see what this book is. So this is the book that he actually quoted. I'm just showing the book from Amazon link. This is the book. It has 5 total rating and it has 2.5 stars. None of them are 5-star. There are 49% 4-star, and then 20 and 30% is like 1 and 2-star. So let's read what if we can find a Muslim over here. So this guy is not a Muslim, but he's saying this is unscholarly, deceptive book, whatever, but he's not a Muslim. What do you know about Islam? Not much, as you like, etc., etc. That is a radical Islam. So I think this is like a more of a radical Islam or a non-Islamic guy, William guy. So forget that. So now this guy, I picked up this book from a curiosity. I am a Muslim. Let me just zoom in so that people can read it properly. I picked up this book from a curiosity. I am a Muslim. Did an open to test and open to 6th page of the first chapter. Saw this in the listing. What Muslim believe, he wrote, that we must believe in Allah, angel, the jinns, and that destroys the whole narrative. The writer of this book knows nothing about Muslims, knows nothing about history, knows nothing about anything. Even the Muslim doesn't accept it. But Zakir Naik has to quote something from somewhere, from anywhere, just so he could show something. Just so he could show something. These poor, poor Western Muslims who actually try to show that they know something and they try to deceive. This is the verse of Quran that Maulana actually said, "Iza ja'a nasrullahi fal fathu." When comes the help of Allah and you get victory. Waraita, and you see nas, the people, yadkhuluna, entering fi dinil, into the religion of Allah, afwaja, in multitude, in groups. Okay? فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ تَوَّابًا. So, like, come on, guys. This is written in Quran. These guys are actually showing it. But you know what? They are deceiving the West. They are deceiving the West. They are only deceiving the West. Because when they get into the power, this is what they are going to preach in the West. This is what they are going to preach in the West as well, because that is what Quran actually talks about. It is Quran chapter number 47, verse number 35. So do not, it actually says, let me just show the verse. Okay, it actually says, do not call for peace when you are the uppermost, when you are superior. So do not weaken and call for peace. Okay, ilal aslamu. Aslamu comes from salam, Islam, aslamu. So do not weaken and call for peace when you are superior. Let me open this in the other one. Quran 47. 35. Let me open this over here so that it will be easy. Okay. Ila aslamu, peace. Islam, according to them, comes from the word salam. Okay, that's what they are saying. Do not flatter and cry out for peace when you are the uppermost, and Allah is with you, and He will not grudge your actions. 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 Man, I raised up in the East. This is what we have been taught. This is what we have been taught all our lives. All our lives. This is what we have been taught. This is what we have been taught. Not what Zakir Naik says, but what these Eastern scholars says. Let me show you Qaradawi. Qaradawi is another sheikh of Islam. Let's see what he is saying. It's in Arabic. The translation is in the bottom, but I will still going to do the translation of the most important points that he is going to say. So watch carefully. Let me maximize it so that it will be easy for everyone to watch and read.
لم يتركوا الردة، لو تركوا الردة ما كان هناك إسلام، كان انتهى الإسلام منذ وفاة الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام. فالوقوف أمام الردة هو الذي أبقى الإسلام. وفي
So now he is reciting the verse, Quran chapter number 5 verse number 33. Okay, chapter number 5 verse number 33 says, whoever create fasad in the land, or who does not believe in Allah and the last prophet, you must cut their hands and feet from the opposite side and kill them or crucify them. Kill them or crucify them. And he is associating it with the people who do apostasy as well.
آية المائدة إنما جزاء الذين يحاربون الله ورسوله ويسعون في الأرض أن يقتلوا أو يصلبوا، جاء عن أبي قلابة وغيره من التابعين إن هذه جاءت في المرتدين، وجاءت أحاديث كثيرة.
And now he's saying there are many ahadith on this subject as well.
مش حديث واحد ولا اثنين ولا ثلاثة، أحاديث كثيرة عن عدد من الصحابة يعني في أن يقتل المرتد. حديث ابن عباس من بدل دينه فاقتلوه. حديث
So whoever changes his religion, kill him. Man baddal dinu fa'aqtulu. Whoever changes his religion, kill him.
ابن مسعود لا يحل امرئ إلا بإحدى ثلاث، الثيب الزاني.
So kill those who are criminals, adulterers, murderers. Zani is adulterer, and then whoever apostates from Islam. Whoever apostates from Islam. You know, that's the first point that you need to see what he said. If we have got ridden of the apostasy punishment, means the punishment to apostate, Islam would have been finished. Watch again.
لم يتركوا الردة، لو تركوا الردة ما كان هناك إسلام، كان انتهى الإسلام منذ وفاة الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام.
And Islam would have been finished as soon as the Prophet died. Islam would have been finished as soon as the Prophet died. That's what Qaradawi is saying. Once again, I am only playing and translating East versus West. East versus West. That's today's topic. We are talking about Eastern Muslims, Eastern Islam versus Western Islam. Eastern Islam versus Western Islam. That's the difference. What have we brought up with versus what you guys listen and hear. And that is why exposing the truth about Islam is very important. Yes, we are always going to pray for the ex-Muslim of Indonesia. I know that they are going through terrible, terrible times. And I met a few of them. My prayers are always with them. So even the Western is, sorry, Salam Aaron. The Western knows that. You think the Western Imam or Western scholar do not know that? They do know that. They are liars. They are deceivers. They are deceptive because Islam allow them to do that. That's what I'm exposing. They know all of these things. Otherwise, they are not even an Islamic scholar. They have studied at least 4 years to get the degree. They have studied all of these things. So, no, they know that. They know how disgusting it is. They are liars. Yes, animal. I don't know why your name is animal. Yes, without lies, Islam dies. That's how they do it. Now, check what our favorite Shabir Ali says about it. What our favorite Shabir Ali says about it. If I'm, yes. Question.
that tends to come up over and over again, especially if you look at Islamic history. This idea that Islam was spread by the sword, this idea that Muslim invaders went from one land to another land, forcing people to convert to Islam, which is why Islam spread so quickly. Because starting from a small town in Mecca, it reached most of the world in amazing speeds. And we had Muslims span across the globe at an amazing pace. And a lot of people do attribute that to the idea that uh, these people were forced to convert to Islam. How much truth does that carry?
Well, I think we should distinguish between two things here. One is the spread of the Islamic Empire, and two, the spread of Islam as a faith.
Mm-hmm.
To a certain extent, one can say, okay, the Islamic Empire expanded the way that empires normally did expand, which was in the past by the use of might. Was in the past by the use of might.
That's what I told you, Salamaran. That's what I told you. See, they know that. He actually stated it, but now he's going to defend it. Now he's going to twist it. Now he's going to twist it left, right, and center to show that Islam spread it by peace. He actually stated the correct thing because he knows what the correct thing is. But now he's going to defend it. Look at his defend.
The lines of countries eventually came to be drawn after battles were fought, and where the two sides came to a kind of a stalemate, that's where the line gets drawn in between. And
So see, now he's trying to defend that yes, the line is drawn, they attacked, they captured. Now he's not saying that Islam actually went out and attacked and captured. He's trying to twist it. This is how it happens. This is how it happens.
we know that this side belongs to that army and this side belongs to the other army. Eventually, we have countries being marked on our globe in this particular way. So
is this how the Islamic nation went out? Now he's not going to say that, but like this is how it went out. Look at any historian. This is how it went out. Is the Arabian Muslim came out with sword and started occupying and attacking the land, ask them to give three things: either accept Islam, or give jizya, or get ready to be killed. That's how they did that.
empires did expand in this particular way. And at the time when Islam started out as a very small group of people, or Muslims were a very small group of people, they had to struggle for their own existence.
When they were 13, 9 years, when they were low in number, when they were not in power. That's the peaceful of Islam to begin with. And that's what's happening in West. They are peaceful because they are low in number. That's what Quran talks about. When you are less in number, go for peace. But do not go for peace when you are superior in number, because Allah's might will be with you and He will not grudge you. I showed you the Quran verse.
Against the many others who were struggling against them. And eventually they did become a formidable group who were able to expand as well militarily. And so to that extent, one can say, okay, the Muslim empire expanded like other empires did expand. But the other
Like which empire expanded? Like the Romans? Yes. Okay, they were pagans. Like did Christians do that? Like the dude.
other part of it is no, it's not right to say that Islam spread as a faith by the sword. I mean, if you wanted to say that the power of government caused the religion to spread, one might say that Christendom was helped by the fact that Constantine became the governor of Rome, and by adopting the Christian faith, he made it official, and through the power of
Oh my God, look at them how they go in left and right and all the yada. But yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. In the West, you will see beautiful preaching of Islam. You will see the most beautiful preaching of Islam. The preaching of Islam that will tell you, hey, Islam is a religion of peace. It doesn't do anything bad. It is all good. And we are all good. Oh my goodness. Now, I have done a video a few months ago. I'm going to show a part of that video because in that video, I showed a Egyptian channel network. This is my own video and I'm going to play that. It's once again in Arabic. We are going to translate a little bit of it. I hope you're going to like it. Look what they do to the people and what they say about Torah and the Bible. What they say about the Torah and the Bible in the East. Torah and the Injil in the East. Watch, learn.
And he's just talking about what he did. If you continue,
قتل مالك ابن نويرة.
He killed Malik ibn, the son of Muwayyada.
Al-Nuwaira, yes.
Muwayyada, yes.
وقطع راسه وحطاه في قدر يعني حلة.
He cut off his head and put it in a pan.
وغلاها وكلها هو والصحابة. ثم نزل.
And he boiled it. This is exactly the words he's saying. He boiled it and he ate it. Him, his companions. Him, Khalid ibn Walid, and the companions, his friends.
I'm rewinding it a little so that we can read it, we can listen to it again. Sorry, guys.
حلة وغلاها وكلها هو والصحابة. ثم نزل أي زنى بامرأة هذا الرجل.
And then he fornicated with the wife of this man.
So, you know, Malakat al-Yamin, guys, when you catch a woman after a war, that woman is your Malakat al-Yamin. She is your right hand possessed. So you can do raping.
If I could say one thing about it, when you say Malakat al-Yamin in possession of the right hand, sometimes for somebody who's not familiar with Islamic language, it may be difficult. There's one sheikh from Al-Azhar University who explained very clearly what does Malakat al-Yamin mean? What does possession of your right hand mean? And he said very simply, it's something you own, like you own a chair or you own a cup. That's how he described what a possession of your right hand. So these girls, when become your possession of your right hand, what does that mean? They become your possession like a chair or a cup.
That's Malakat al-Yamin. Yes, just like you own a cup, that's how. And by the way, Steve was saying, read this. Praise Lord.
Really?
Praise Lord. Hallelujah.
تعالى كمل مع حضرتك.
تقصد انه جاي منين؟
Okay, he goes, do you want me to continue do you want to continue your discussion? And she goes, okay, where does it come from?
Yeah, let me just rewind that because now they are overlapping. They are talking over each other. So let me just rewind that a little.
حضرتك
تقصد انه جاي منين؟
من هذا التراث الديني.
She goes, so where does it come from? She's talking about terrorism and extremism. And then he says, from these traditions, Islamic tradition.
قصدك ان التراث الديني محتاج نظرة ومحتاج
So you're saying that Muslim traditions need to be looked at and need purification.
أنا لسه
سريعا بس لأنه وقت
سريعا.
But he's saying, she says, hurry up, please, and share, because he wants to preach. And she says, say it quickly.
كتاب متن الإقناع في حد.
Now he's talking about the book. He says that at Al-Azhar, okay, he didn't say that yet. But
wait. Let's read on that. Sorry. Guys, listen very carefully now. And I have already shown you in the article the name of this book. So you can go back and read the book name.
أو الصف الثالث الثانوي في الأزهر الشريف.
And this is being taught in high school, Al-Azhar Sharif, at the Al-Azhar University.
And I've already shown you the article on that.
باب الطهارة يقول صفحة
Okay, and he's saying that the chapter on purity, Bab al-Tahara, says
72
70.
يجوز الاستنجاء.
Yeah, Safa, I need to see the page number. Sorry, guys. Rewinding again.
Page 70. It's using
Of Torah and Gospel. Let's
use toilet paper to clean.
to Istinja. That's bad.
Okay, now what he's saying here, it's about the cleaning up, and the cleaning up is used here is a very bad word. It's like when you use toilet paper to clean up, but that's the name of the book, is the cleaning up
of Torah and Gospel. Let's check that again. Yeah.
يجوز الاستنجاء بالتوراة والإنجيل.
So basically, this is what they are saying, that they use Torah and Injil for istinja. Use Torah and Injil for istinja. Istinja means that when you actually when you go to the bathroom and clean with tissue paper or with water or with whatever. So they use that, like, this is how they describe Torah and Injil. This is how they describe Torah and Injil. So, like, come on. Islam in the West and Islam in the East, they are entirely two different Islam. And I came from East. And I came from East. And I know what Easterns are saying. And I know what Easterns are saying. That's the beautiful Islam that has been taught to us since our childhood. Since our childhood. Like, dude, why the Islam is so different when it comes to Islam in the US or the West? Why is it so different? Why? You tell me. You guys have to tell me now. Like, come on, how come Islam becomes so different suddenly when it goes to the West? Exactly. Yes, you actually said it right. I didn't want to say it. So now the text is explaining it. Istanja. That's a proper Arabic word for exactly this thing. That's the Eastern Islam. That's Eastern scholars are saying. So West versus East. Let me show you some small clips now of a lot of Islamic scholars saying about Islam. Okay, these are very, very small clips about a lot of them saying is about Islam. Watch this.
نحن نعادي يهود حتى ولو أعادوا إلينا فلسطين لأنهم كفار.
So Jews are infidels. They should be murdered and killed because they are infidels. They are kuffar.
لو أن اليهود تركوا لنا فلسطين خلاص يبقوا حبايبنا.
If Jews leave the Palestine for us, we'll like them.
لا طبعا.
Of course not. We will never love them.
إطلاقا.
Absolutely not. We will never like them.
عقيدتك في اليهود واحد إنهم كفار. اثنين.
You believe, like, it doesn't matter. You have to accept three things. They are infidels.
أنهم أعداء.
And secondly, they are enemies. They are enemies.
مش أعداء عشان يحتلوا فلسطين.
Not because they occupied the Palestine. Not because they occupied the Palestine.
وإنما هم أعداء ولم يحتل ولو لم يحتل.
They are even the enemies if they haven't done that. They are the enemies even if they have not done that. You know why? Let him explain that.
وإحنا كراهيتنا.
Karahit means, it's not just hatred. It's extreme hatred. So, even when you actually, if somebody is maybe eating a dump from the toilet seat, right? What will happen to you? If you see somebody eating dump from the toilet seat, you will feel krahet, you will feel disgust. You will feel. That's what he's saying. Not just the hatred, the translate is hatred, but it's like extreme hatred. It's like Like you feel shiver in your body. That's karahit, okay, of the Jews is based upon our faith.
أو كرهنا لليهود من منطلق عقيدة.
It's the akida, it's the faith, it's the basic of faith, because the Quran talks about it. Let's see.
القرآن هو اللي بيدعونا إن إحنا نكرههم
Quran tells us to hate them, not love them.
وما نحبهمش.
And not love.
هؤلاء يعانوا من حالة نفسية.
Nafsiya, they suffer mental disorder. They mentally, like, that's what they are saying.
مضطربة والله مش أنا الذي أقول القرآن الكريم.
I'm not saying that. Quran is saying that. There is no parallels. What does Quran says? Watch.
وصفهم بأنهم لا يوجد لهم مثيل لتجدن أشد الناس عداوة للذين آمنوا اليهود.
You will, like, they are filth. They are filth. They are filth. The Yahud are filth. The Jews are filth. That's what he's saying.
يهلك هيك قرفة ناس لا عندهم لا
In a highlight, like, finish them, like, destroy them.
دين ولا مبدأ ولا ضمير ولا أنا أستنكر ممن يؤمن بالتطبيع مع.
He said, I condemn all of the people who says that normalization, there should be normalization. There's like, he's like, it's not possible.
ممن
Whoever supports to be with them,
يؤمن بالجلوس معهم ممن يؤمن أن هؤلاء
and whoever believes that they are human beings, so they are not even human beings according to Quran. And I've shown you, there's a video of mine called good words that are called to mushrikeen or the non-believers, good words mentioned in Quran about the non-believers. So there's a whole video on that. So that he's describing that this is how Quran describes them. They're not even human beings. Who are they? Let's see if he actually says that.
بشر ليسوا بشر وليسوا أناس وليسوا.
They are not even nas. They are not even bashar. Bashar is human. Nas is like people. They are not nas. They are not bashar. They are not humans. They are not people. What are they?
لا بذوات دين ولا ضمير ولا أخلاق.
They have no conscience. They have no zamir. They have no bis. They have nothing. They are worse than animals. That's what he's saying, not me. And this is Arabic speakers. This is the East, guys. This is the East. Watch this guy.
هؤلاء هم اليهود باختصار وإن لنا عندهم نحن المسلمين
The vengeance in our blood against them.
لا والله لن ينقضي إلا باستئصالهم بإذن الله تعالى.
By the will of Allah Ta'ala, they will be annihilated. They'll be vanquished. They'll be finished. Now this guy is pretty good, because he's gonna man.
أعداء المسلمين بعد إبليس هم اليهود.
Bada Iblis. After Iblis, the enemies of Muslims are Jews. So the biggest enemy of Muslim is Satan, the Iblis. After that is Jews. How? Let's see.
من الذي قال ذلك؟
He said, who said that? Zalik, who said that? Allah did.
نحن نعادي
Allah did.
اليهود حتى ولو أعادوا إلينا فلسطين لأنهم كفار.
Because they are infidels, they are kuffar. Remove them from Palestine.
لو أن اليهود تركوا لنا فلسطين خلاص يبقوا حبايبنا.
He said, it will, if they leave Palestine for us, it should be finished. Like, we should be like finished, question mark. So we should start loving them, in other words, question mark. Like, should we?
لا طبعا.
Of course not.
عمرهم ما هيبقوا حبايبنا.
No.
إطلاقا.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is East, guys. This is East. This is the Eastern Islam. This is the Eastern Islam, not the Western Islam that you guys have been taught in CNN or by these scholars, by these muftis, the so-called muftis. This is the Eastern Islam. When they say Jews, they are talking about ethnic Jews, not necessarily religious Jews. Any Jew, any Jew, anyone who believe in the Torah and the Zabur without believing in the Injil. So anyone who believe in the Old Testament, i.e. the Torah, the book of prophets, the Psalms, before accepting the Christ, they are all Jews according to Islam. So they are talking about them. We love you Muslims. Yes, we love Muslims, not the teaching of Islam. That's what I say always. Yes, RD, you are absolutely right. Anyhow, so let's see what is happening. So when the Western people, when the Eastern people come to the West, when the Eastern people come to the West, and then they start seeing these things, what happens? Okay, this is very important. And plus, why is it happening in the East as well now? Because they have been told one narrative. They brought up with this one narrative, and they know only this one narrative, the Eastern narrative. Now because of internet, there is a Western narrative that is coming into East as well. And then these people realize that these two narrative doesn't coincide. There is problem in Islam. And you know what happens? This is what happens. Watch.
Hear from the both of us. What do we think we should be doing? What advice can we give to the Muslims to make sure that we protect the iman of the next generation and to counter this rise of irreligiosity and agnosticism and atheism?
As far as the rise of atheism rising in the Western country, I disagree with you. It is not only Western countries throughout the world. It is
True.
rising everywhere in the world, including Gulf countries.
And you know why it is including Gulf country? It is happening including in Gulf countries because they are now realizing the depth of Islam, how demonic it is. I'm not saying that. These guys are saying that. Watch.
You know, where I considered that, the Gulf countries, especially Saudi Arabia, is the heart of Tawheed. I was shocked. It was in 2014. They asked me to give a lecture on atheism. Does God exist? I was shocked. In Saudi Arabia, in Jamiatul Imam, where I consider one of the.
And Jamiatul Imam is the most biggest scholarly university slash mosque slash madrasa for Muslims, and he was asked to go there and give the sermon on Tawheed. Why? Because people starting to realize this is not about the true God. This is not about the true God. Not just West, but even the East. Islam is shaking. Why? Because people are telling them, is this the truth? Is this what's written? West versus East. Watch.
The best Islamic university to give a talk on atheism. And then I realized that the people told me that even in the Gulf countries, leave aside Western countries, leave aside UK, leave aside America, India, even there are, and previously, according to me, when a person from Saudi Arabia or from the Gulf country.
I think that's more than enough for these two guys. So these two guys, Yasir Qadi, the Western, Zakir Naik, the Eastern, comes together. But Zakir Naik is more of a Western because he preached in English, so he's a very moderate kind of a Muslim kind of a person. But once again, he do a lot of deception in his videos. But anyhow, like even they are admitting now that people are leaving faith because the moralities of the world has been exposed, and they're realizing that this is not per the true God. It cannot be according to true God. How can you actually have filth? How can you actually say filth to a whole nation? Why would you actually say the whole nation as a filth? Why would you actually do that? Why would you actually do such a crazy thing? And in East, there is another problem. In East, the problem is that these people actually fight with each other as well. They actually fight with each other. One type of person, one sect of person will actually do not like the other type or the sect of person. They actually can't even admit that even their own sect, within their own sects, within their own different kind of sects of Islam, they have issues whether they should accept each other with patience and acceptance, and they use the most abusive words ever to talk about each other. They use the most abusive words to talk about each other. That's how they do it. Let me show you. There is a sect of Islam which is called Ahlul Sunnah, the followers of Sunnah. Okay, and there is another sect of Islam which says Quran and not all the Sunnah. Sunnah is the ahadith and the saying of Muhammad. So they they talk filth to each other as well. Once again, East. Here in the West, it's altogether different. In the East, this is what they show. So I'm going to translate it word by word. Now I'm not going to say anything of my own. I'm going to translate it word by word. So try to comprehend. I'm going to say excuse to all the women who are watching. To all the women who are watching, I'm going to say extremely sorry because I'm going to translate what he's going to say. So I'm sorry, fully sorry, because the translation will be a little bad.
और दुख का मुकाम है
This is very sad place for me.
एक भांड
One bhand, the person who makes sound with music.
गंजर और कुत्ती का बच्चा
Conjure. Okay, bad word. Son of a bitch. That's what he said afterwards. Kutti ka bachcha.
नासिर मदनी
His name is Nasir Madani. Nasir is the name. Madani comes from Medina. He's saying to him.
उसने
He said.
एक चैनल यूट्यूब
He said it in YouTube channel.
सच बात के ऊपर उस एक किसी एंकर ने
Sach baat, the truth. Talking about the truth.
ऐसे पूछा कि आप ये बताएं कि आप बरेलवी हैं कि अहले हदीस हैं
Will you actually tell me whether you are Brelvi, that's another sect of Islam, or you are Ahl al-Hadith, or you are the Ahl al-Hadith, means these are two different sects of Islam.
उसने कहा कि मैं अहले हदीस लफ्ज
And he said that I do not agree with Ahle Hadith word. I do not agree with Ahle Hadith word.
को अच्छा नहीं समझता
I do not like Ahle Hadith. So that's what he's saying. With two different sects, right? So obviously.
और मैं अपनी जुबान से ये लफ्ज अहले हदीस नहीं अदा करना चाहता
And I do not want to use Ahle Hadith from my tongue.
और उसने कुत्ते की तरह आगे ये भी बक बक
And he said it like a dog as barking
की है हाउ हाउ जिस तरह कुत्ता
how like the dog does.
भौंकता है इस तरह वो भौंका है
That is how he actually barked.
कहता है कि मैं अपने खिताबात के दौरान लफ्ज
That during my sermons I do not use the word
अहले हदीस अपनी
Ahle Hadith.
जुबान से इस्तेमाल नहीं करूंगा हम कहते हैं
I will not use that word from my tongue.
कुत्ती के बच्चे
Oh son of a bitch.
किसी कुत्ती की नस्ल
Oh the lineage of a bitch.
तुझे ये नहीं पता कि हमारे असलाफ ने इस लफ्ज अहले हदीस के ऊपर अपना तन मन धन जाने कुर्बान करवा दी
That our ancestors actually gave their lives, their bodies, their money for the Ahle Hadith, means the followers of the Hadith.
और तूने लफ्ज अहले हदीस को समझा क्या है
And what do you know about the Ahle Hadith?
और याद रखिए हमारी और उलमाए सलफ की कोशिश ये होती है कि अवामुन्नास तक ये कुरान का पैगाम पहुंचे
And it is our teaching that we want to give the message of the Quran to Awamun Nas, means every human being.
और नबी की हदीस
And the ahadith of the Prophet, which is Ahl al-Sunnah.
इसका इल्म है पहुंचे आज तुम लोगों के दिलों के अंदर ये लफ्ज अहले हदीस निकालना चाहते हो
And you want to remove the word Ahl Hadith from the hearts of these people? And now the people are shouting and chanting.
ये लफ्ज अहले हदीस निकालना चाहते हो
You want to remove this word Ahl Hadith?
और याद रखो लफ्ज अहले हदीस पर ये भौंकने वाला
Oh, you barking dog about teaching about the word Ahl Hadith?
जिसने भी इस लफ्ज अहले हदीस को मिटाने की कोशिश की है,
whoever wants to vanquish the word Ahle Hadith,
वो खुद मिट गया है।
he was destroyed.
लफ्ज अहले हदीस को जितना मिटाओगे ये इतना उभर के रहेगा।
As much as you try to destroy it, it will go up more.
और ये कंजर का बच्चा अगर किसी मदरसे के अंदर पड़ा होता ना,
if this kanjar ka bacha, kanjar means the guy, you know, yeah, not born of the father kind of a person,
तो इसको पता होता कि लफ्ज हदीस और लफ्ज अहले हदीस की शान क्या है।
he should have known what is the level of this word.
समझ आई कि नहीं? जिसने मदरसे का एक दिन दरवाजा भी जाकर ना देखा हो,
the one who haven't even seen the school, the madrasa, the door of the madrasa, the door of the school,
और वो भंड,
and that bhand, once again a derogatory, extremely derogatory word, okay, the word with the bastard kind of a word. Kanjar is also similar.
मेहराब व मिंबर के ऊपर आके लोगों के दिलों से लफ्ज अहले हदीस निकालना चाहता है,
wants to remove the word Ahle Hadith from the people's heart. Okay, that I think that's more than enough. Just wanted to show how these people actually state these things about each other. If you want to compare these two sects, you can actually compare these two sects with maybe Baptist extreme right Christian and Baptist extreme left Christian, or you can maybe compare Protestants versus like just take any two sects of Christianity. Don't even go to Roman Catholics and the Protestants. Don't even go to the major ones. We are talking about the subsects of the subsect. Like this is how they actually talk. This is East. They kill each other on these kind of things, and this is pure Islamic. This is pure. Like, I'm not saying that. These are the scholars of Islam with long beards and everything, who have studied in the madrasa for years and years, and who have books and books and books behind them. Because Muhammad's teaching that I've shown in my last video, that this is how he taught as well. This is what he taught as well. And then a lot of people actually comes and say to me, do they worship Muhammad? No, they do not worship Muhammad. They do not worship Muhammad. But they go as close as you can to worshipping Muhammad. This is once again Maulana Rizvi in East. This is what he's talking about. And he's saying, Sahaba Ikram Shafa ke liye Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam ka peshab peete the. That the companions of Muhammad used to drink the urine of Muhammad for health.
وَيُسْتَشْفَى بِهِمْ. मैं पहली बार जुमला पढ़ा.
That you get shafa means health by him with it. What? Let's see.
क्यों जी? ऐसे तक गल मुक जाती. मैं पहले युस्तशफा नहीं पढ़ा. पहली बारी मैं आज पढ़ा.
He said, I never read Yustafa before. This is the first time I read it. By the way, imagine this is Shia channel. They are exposing this Sunni prophet, Sunni Imam. This is a Sunni Imam. This is not a Shia Imam. The Shia channel is exposing this Sunni Imam. So they are all fighting with each other. So now this is Shia major sect, Sunni major sect. So Shia major sect is actually exposing a Sunni major sect, that this is what they are teaching. This is what is written in their hadiths. So this guy is not Shia. Remember that. This is a Sunni Imam. And he's saying that the urine of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is pak, is holy, is holy. I think that's the closest word for pak. And everyone is chanting.
और आपका खून मुबारक पाक है.
and your blood is holy.
और अगली जो इमाम ने बात की कहा
And the next thing that the Imam said,
कि सिर्फ पाक ही नहीं बल्कि इनके जरिए सहाबा शिफा तलब करते रहे.
and it wasn't just holy, but with that, the companion of the Prophet actually got healthy. They did shafa. They drink it for their health. And now the chanting of the people.
ये जुमला मैंने किसी पहले नहीं पढ़ा, कभी बयान भी नहीं किया, तो पढ़.
I never read it before, so I never said it. Now I read it, so I'm saying it.
मैंने पहली बार है ये लफ्ज अगले, पहले तो मैं बयान करता था, लेकिन ये पहली बार पढ़ा तो उस वक्त का नशा है.
He said the time when I read it, I am drunk under the effect of it. I am drunk. I'm enjoying the effect of it. Wow, that the Prophet's urine is holy, and that, my goodness, that's just crazy.
जिनका पेशाब मुबारक जो है उसके अंदर शिफा मौजूद है.
The one whose urine has shifa in it, the health in it.
और बात सीन थे जो है वो तलब के लिए, और सहाबा हुजूर का पेशाब मुबारक और खून पीकर शिफा हासिल करते थे.
And the companion used to drink the blood and the urine of Prophet Muhammad to get healthy or to get health. This is the true teaching of the East. And by the way, as a child, I had heard these kind of sermons. I had heard these kind of sermons. This is already there. Every Eastern Islam. So when you talk to a Western Muslim, they're like, it's all a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. These people are saying a lie. Dude, you are in the West. You are saying it a lie. Fair enough. In the East, that's not a lie. This is the basic teaching of Islam in the East. This is the basic teaching of Islam in the East. Islam, East. That's what it is. That's the Islam of the East. I'm sorry to say, but yes, brother, that is disgusting, RD. Yes, Satan is stupid, obviously. Muhammad says the Islamic religion is. I definitely agree with you as well. Definitely agree with you as. So this is like, I don't have to read anything. I don't have to show you anything. That is why instead of me showing, like there's somebody who actually said that CP actually did a video on that as well. Yes, Irene that said that. So there are a lot of people who are actually doing these kind of videos and exposing. I wanted to show you the East versus West. I want to show you exactly what these people are teaching in the East. The Pakistan, the Egypt, the Saudi Arabia, the Iran. What are they teaching us, or what are they teaching to the Muslimin in the East versus what you are getting in the West? It's not that CP is doing that. It's not what that Wood is doing that. David Wood is doing that. It's not what Sham Shimon is doing that. I'm showing you exactly what these people are doing and saying in the East. Understand that. This is what these people are saying and doing in the East. That's what I'm showing. So I'm going to end this debate, this video, with this video that I'm going to show, that if you actually raise a voice against Islam, what happens to you? By the way, you all know what has happened to David Wood's channel. You all know what has happened to CP's channel. You all know what has happened to another guy in Canada's channel. They can't even earn from any of the advertisement. You know, Apostate's Prophet channel as well. You know why? This is why. Because Islam is a religion of peace. And if you talk about Islam, this is what happens. This is pageru.com. Islam is a religion of peace.
I was raised a practicing Muslim and remained one for almost half my life. I attended madrasas, that is Islamic schools, and memorized large parts of the Quran. As a child, I lived in Mecca for a time and frequently visited the Grand Mosque. As a teenager,
So imagine she has raised up in East. So bear that in mind. She is raised up in the East, Makkah, multiple Hajj or multiple Umrahs that she has done.
sympathized with the Muslim Brotherhood. At 22, while my family was living in Kenya, my father arranged my marriage to a member of our family clan, a man that I had never met.
Arranged marriage is the most basic thing in Islam. Without the blessing of the father, without the father signing the paper, a marriage in the Muslim world cannot happen. Of a woman, of a Muslim woman, woman cannot happen. You need to have a wakil as your father to sign, and that only happens. And 80 to 90%, 95% marriages in Muslim countries happen as arranged marriages, and common, very common. Whoever denies that is a liar.
I ran away, made my way to Holland, studied there, and eventually was elected a member of the Dutch Parliament. Now I live in the United States. In short, I have seen Islam from the inside and the outside. I believe that a reform of Islam is necessary and possible, and only Muslims can make that reform a reality. But we in the West cannot remain on the sidelines as though the outcome of this struggle has nothing to do with us.
Exactly. That's why we speak. This woman is my voice. This woman is the voice of Al Fadi. This woman is the voice of every ex-Muslim. We cannot stop talking about it. We have to show what the true Islam is. Because we come from the East. We come from the East. Watch.
If the jihadists win and the hope for a reformed Islam dies, the rest of the world will pay a terrible price. The terror attacks in New York, London, Madrid, Paris, and many other places are only a preview for what's to come. For this reason, I believe that it's foolish to insist, as Western leaders habitually do, that the violent acts committed in the name of Islam can somehow be divorced from the religion itself.
Exactly. They are not two. They come from what? Watch.
For more than a decade, my message has been simple. Islam is not a religion of peace. When I assert this, I do not mean that Islamic belief makes all Muslims violent. This is manifestly not the case.
I 100% agree with her. 100% agree with her. 50, 60, 70% of the Muslims, they are peaceful Muslims as human beings. The problem is the rest of the 30%. They are like a ticking time bomb. You can say 1% or 2% are terrorists. Okay, say that. Doesn't matter. I can agree with you on that. But the rest are ticking time bombs. The day, which part of the day, which week, which month that ticking time bomb will actually tick, you do not know. That's what it's saying.
There are many millions of peaceful Muslims in the world. What I do say is that the call to violence and the justification for it are explicitly stated in the sacred texts of Islam. Moreover, this theologically sanctioned violence is there to be activated by any number of offenses, including, but not limited to, adultery, blasphemy, homosexuality, and apostasy.
Exactly. For adultery, from homosexuality. Haven't you seen what they did to homosexual people in Egypt? They threw them off from the high buildings. Blasphemer, they kill. Adulterous people, they kill. Stoned to death. Haven't you seen that? It's everywhere in the news channel. Apostasy, they kill. This is the basic teaching from the holy scriptures of Quran and Hadith.
That is to leave Islam. Those who tolerate this intolerance do so at their peril. As someone who has known what it is to live without freedom, I watch in amazement as those who call themselves liberals and progressives, people who claim to believe so fervently in individual liberty and minority rights, make common cause with the...
That's the most important point. These Westerners, who are not even Muslim, do not know about Islam. They preach individual liberty, morality, rights of Muslim people. They don't know jack about Islam. They have been given the false narrative of the Western scholars who lie and deceive, and they have never been to East, live among them, to know what they think, to see what they do, to know and see their teachings in their madrasas and the mosques. They don't know jack. And they preach because they are Westerner, Christians or semi-Christians or something, or atheists, and they have a moral culture, and they think these Muslims are the same.
The forces in the world that manifestly pose the greatest threat to that very freedom and those very minorities. In 2014, I was invited to accept an honorary degree from Brandeis University for the work I have done on behalf of women's rights in the Muslim world.
Now see what happened to her after this.
That invitation was withdrawn after professors and students protested my criticism of Islam.
So that was also taken away because she was criticizing Islam. She's not criticizing Islam. She's actually showing the true Islam. But they take it as criticism. They call us Islamophobes. Dude, how can we be Islamophobe when your scholars are actually saying that? When your holy books are saying that? When hadiths are saying that? When Quran is saying that? Then how is it Islamophobe? It's exactly what's written in there. If I say something without showing, okay, definitely you can accuse me of lying or deceiving or Islamophobia. But never in any of my video it happened that I haven't shown what I said. That's what happened with her as well, because she got a little famous. And then why she's Islamophobe, Islamic critique? It's not critique, it's critique. How is it? Whatever.
My subsequent disinvitation, as it came to be called, was no favor to Muslims, just the opposite. By labeling critical examination of Islam as inherently racist, we make the chances of reformation far less likely.
Exactly. How will you get reformation if you stop all of these things? You need to show the true Islam so that when you are actually reforming Islam, you can reform it. Otherwise, there is nothing called reforming in Islam. It is the part one of Islam when they are less in number in West.
There are no limits on criticism of Christianity at American universities or anywhere else for that matter. Why should there be of Islam? Instead of contorting Western intellectual traditions so as not to offend our Muslim fellow citizens, we need to defend both those traditions and the Muslim dissidents who take great risks to promote them. We should support these brave men and women in every way possible. Imagine a platform for Muslim dissidents that communicated their message through YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. These are the Muslims we should be supporting for our sake as much as for the sake of Islam.
Exactly. So all of the people who are working in YouTube, like me as well, David Wood, Sam Shamoun, Al-Fadi, CP, Apostate Prophet, there are a lot of them. Support them. Support them, subscribe them, spread their videos. These things has to go out. And you know what YouTube is doing? They are banning their videos. They are not letting them come into the search engine. There's so many things that are happening.
In the Cold War, the West celebrated dissidents such as Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Andrei Sakharov, and Václav Havel, who had the courage to challenge the Soviet system from within. Today, there are many dissidents who challenge Islam, but the West either ignores them or dismisses them as not representative.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So if you actually do a little bit of the criticism, this is what happens. This is what happens. And this is what is happening everywhere in the world. We will hurt their feelings. In other words, they are so insecure, we have to let them think that they are just fine as they. That's the problem. That's the problem. That is what their sacred text says. This is what their sacred text says. You cannot ask questions. You cannot seek. There is always a red line. Don't you know the red line? Don't you know the red line? I don't know why. Salam, you know the red line. There are red lines in their religion that you cannot cross. And that is why, and you know what the red lines are? That's why this Ali Dawa actually said that. You know, Ali Dawa's video, when he said that you should be punished, and the capital punishment should have been applied on you. Nobody criticized. Like, like who actually said to him, these things are there. These things are there. And that's what is happening. That has happened. And this is Ali Dawa. And this is one of my other video. Please don't accept Islam. Watch it. Watch it. It's a like 2, 3, 4 minutes video or whatever. I'm not gonna play that over here, but that's what Islam is. That's what Islam is in true. So I think it's been a long video, and thank you so very much for watching. I wanted to today, instead of going to sunnah.com, instead of going to quran.com and showing you exactly what's written, I allowed these Muslim muftis and scholars of Islam of the East and the West to destroy each other, and then to show you what the true Islam is. Where Islam is in power, what are they saying? Versus where Islam is in less in power, what are they saying? So that is why the title of the video, Islam, East versus West. Spread this video. Let the people know it. Let the people see it. This is the truth. This is the reality of Islam. Eastern Islam means where the Islam is in power. Western Islam is where the Islam is not in power. May the Lord Jesus bless each and every one of you. May you have the blessing of our Lord. May you spread the truth and the light of our Lord Jesus Christ to everyone. And if you can just expose the deception and the lies, that is also the first point. Please do that, so that the people who are there and cannot see the light, they could see the light, and they could differentiate between the light and the darkness. In Jesus' name I close. Amen. Have a blessed day, evening, and night, wherever you are. Yeshua Akbarul Azim, and Happy New Year. Goodbye.